Hey, everybody, and welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Soulialos and brought to you by his book, The Bible of Bodybuilding, Everything You Need to Know About Training, Nutrition, Supplementation, and PEDs. Brand new edition is coming out very, very soon. Keep an eye out for that on the website, dtoul.com, as well as Dr. Soulialos' Instagram, at Dr. George Soulialos. And if you're on Amazon buying books, where you can buy that one, go ahead and get Real Bodybuilding by Ron Harris. Great book, too. And all the way from Athens, Greece, for our first show of 2023, please welcome Dr. George Soulialos. Hey, Doctor.
Hi, Ron. I'm wishing you a better 2023, more success, and let's move on to your questions.
Sure. So first, before we get to the questions, I thought it'd be fun because some of the viewers like to think my labs are in horrible state. I must be, in terrible health because I've been using gear for years and years and years. So I did get some lab work done late November because I'm going to be starting up with Andre and Frontline Alternative very soon. So, anytime a legitimate TRT clinic takes you on, the first thing they want is comprehensive labs. They want to see where you're at. And I didn't see too much that really worried me. Let's see, I think you would ask me hematocrit, and that was like one thing that I never had tested. So my hematocrit was 53%, where the healthy range for someone my age is 41 to 51. So I'm a little high. And the first thing the nurse practitioner who went over the labs with me asked me was, how often do you donate blood? I said, never. Why would I donate blood? I'm not going to give my blood away. But apparently phlebotomy is, if you're using gear, it is kind of important, correct?
Yeah, sure. I mean, listen, I don't get paranoid when hematocrit is below 55 or more accurately, the hemoglobin is below 18, because this is something reasonable when you use androgens. Besides, we are men, and men have higher range than women.
Yeah.
So more accurately, how much is your hemoglobin?
17.7.
All right. When it reaches at 18, you'll start to be phlebotomized. Now you can use aspirin. And of course, treating the sleep apnea, hydrate a lot. Because you live in the States now, it's not easily to have access to pentoxifylline that improves the blood flow. Now, telmisartan is something that Thomas O'Connor uses. It's an ARB. So it's a blood pressure treatment inhibitor of the angiotensin binding receptor, but it has the side effect of minimizing the EPO production. So it will have in the long run some benefit to avoid the phlebotomy, but you have to do it every 3 to 4 months. So 90 to 120 days, you have to run.
Okay.
Because you abuse a little bit, all right?
Yeah.
And besides, it's something healthy because it's like changing the oil in the car. Women have the benefit of losing every month 100 ml of blood, until the menstrual cycle. So you really start doing this kind of process because you get relief and you feel much better. You get much comfort when you lose the blood, and because now your stem cells are your blood, your bone marrow makes new one, so you have nothing to lose. All right.
Yeah, I don't know why I have this.
Benefit.
Why am I have this stupid idea in my head? Like my body's not going to make more blood. It is, right? It will make more blood.
Of course it will. Well, this is a pretty natural process,
Okay, fair enough. So platelets, that was fine. So I'm only going to mention the things that.
How many platelets do you have? How many platelets?
So my platelets are 196 by 10.
All right, they have to be kept below 200,000 in order to avoid clotting. But you have to apply 100 milligrams of baby aspirin per film coated with breakfast, okay? As a prevention rule to avoid clotting, and you deactivate the thrombocytes, the platelets that make up the thrombus, the clotting.
Baby aspirin, got it. Okay.
Yes,
I like that. It's
and fish oil also does the same job. Okay.
Yeah. So my glucose was they have a little asterisk. My glucose was 102, but it said.
Yeah. Listen, were you fasted?
Yeah, I was fasted.
Now this will direct you to show me the A1C, because usually the glucose has to be below 90. All right. Now A1C, how much is it? Your glycemic hemoglobin.
Did they do that? Glycemic hemoglobin? I'm not sure they did that one. Let me see.
It's in percent. It's in the CBC.
HbA1c. Yeah, they didn't. It should be HbA1c.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't test me for that. Strangely enough.
It has to be below, of course, 5.5. Now, the fact that you're getting a little bit of weight and you're using consistently the G8s favors the insulin resistance. So dropping the weight, cutting the carbs, losing some visceral fat, and perhaps starting metformin will make you more hypoglycemic. This is healthy because as we age, the pancreas loses its ability to release insulin. The only thing good about you is that you have plenty of muscle that can burn out the glucose. But also you don't have to feed your system with simple carbs, okay? Yeah. So stick on the complex carbs, all right, and skip all the simple carbs, the hyperglycemic ones.
Okay. So let's see. The next thing that there was an asterisk next to is my alkaline phosphate was a little low at 31. That's supposed to be between.
Don't worry about it. This is getting high when we have liver disease and when we have a bone fracture, okay?
And now my liver, I guess, could be in better shape because my AST was 69, and that's supposed to be.
Doesn't matter. Come on, Ron. 303 digital ALT liver enzymes are considered something so serious, you know. Besides your CPK, your CK, I bet it's going to be over 500. So we said that before many times that liver and muscles and heart also possess the same receptors for ALT and AST, so they are kind of connecting to each other. Okay. So, but nothing to worry about this 69 thing, okay?
My ALT was 101, so that was barely into the 3 digits.
Yeah, all right. Are you taking any pills?
I was taking Anavar. I stopped like 3 days before I got the blood work done, but I was doing.
So it sounds. No, we say that Anavar is 17 alkylated, you know, and it can. How many milligrams?
I was doing 40 a day. 20 and 20.
Okay, plus you're using some statins, so they have a combination effect, okay? Plus the rhabdomyolysis you may have from the gym. So you have the overtraining, you have the statin, and you have also the oxandrolone that have synergistic effect for the transaminamia.
Okay. So getting
of course, it's purely reversible, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I feel fine.
You can take an AC for the transaminamia and also some Silimary. Okay.
Yeah, see, I don't take any liver. Yeah, she asked me if you're taking liver support. I know I should be. That's one thing I need to get.
With the Anavar, of course, keep the low dose of statin, and usually do not train 3 days before the lab test.
Yeah, I trained right the day before, so there you go.
So you did everything to be high.
Everything to get the high levels. So my testosterone, they can't read it over 1500, so it just said it was over 1500. My total. Yeah. My estradiol.
So when you get to eventually to replacement therapy with the guy in how you call the labs, the Andrew Miller, yes, in Texas. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably you're going to receive 200 milligrams per week, split into doses of 100. You have to measure the testosterone the day of the shot, but just before the shot. So we need the trough levels. Yeah. To make sure that the lowest levels are high enough, because the timing is crucial. If you measure right after, it should elevate it because it spikes, but we don't care about the spike. Right. We should care about how you feel just before the injection. All right.
Okay. Perfect. My estradiol, my estrogen was 84.4, which is actually down.
It's very reasonable. It sounds high, but always it has to be proportional to the testosterone. Your testosterone is super high, it's over 1500. Yeah. Your estradiol sounds high for somebody that has, let's say, 800 testosterone, but not double of this. So also, since you're non-symptomatic, there's no reason to panic about this, okay? So it sounds reasonable to have 84 when your levels are close to 2000.
Yeah, well, you know, the last time I had blood work, my estradiol was 200, so it's way down. I think I was on more tests the last time I got labs done too. Yeah, he's actually going to back me down. We're going to
maybe it's underdose. You know, consider this also since it's not.
This is
pharmaceutical.
Yeah, because you know we're starting up. I got my labs and I consulted, so I'm going to start on 280 a week of legit testcypionate from a. This is the first.
A lot.
280, not 480. But yeah, that's a lot for TRT. But it's back down from 400. So. Then I do blood work 2 months after that, see where my level's at. Maybe they'll bring me down. They wanted me on 200, and I kind of bugged them. I said, can we just try a little more to start? And maybe I'll end up on 200. We'll see where my levels are at. My free
It's in the mind,
testosterone.
it's all the mind, you know, and I think they won't prescribe you more because it's under, you know, rules. This is a treatment. This is a clinic. It's not you get it from a unofficial source. Not you get it.
Yeah, I mean, they're legit. They're not trying to.
All you need, Ron, is to lean out, and then you'll be happy having the six pack.
Yeah,
and you won't care about your size. You know, you'll be an athletic, healthy man.
Yeah, I'm getting past that whole idea.
You have to. Your joints are fragile anymore, okay? And your heart gets struggled with all this weight.
True. And the last thing was my free testosterone, 40.1. So normal range is 8 to 60, it said. So I guess that's normal. It's not high normal.
It's normal, but it sounds to me that your SHBG is elevated. So this is the regulator about the free testosterone. So if you have the SHBG, let me know how much is it.
They didn't test that. Sex hormone binding globulin. They did not test for that.
I mean, I was guessing that your free testosterone would be over the range, but it's not. It's around 70%. I guess because of the elevated SHBG. Anyway, what about the rest of the labs? Do you have any other cholesterol?
Oh yeah, my cholesterol. That was all good.
Yeah, you take the statin.
Yeah, and I eat very well. I have a lot of fiber. I do cardio. So my HDL was 44.
Okay.
My LDL was 81. So that's good. Do I have total? Oh wait, yeah. Total was 138.
Excellent.
Total, yeah, so I think I'm doing okay.
Creatinine and urea?
What's that?
Creatinine and urea.
Okay, creatinine. Well, there's a lot of stuff here. I think that was on the other page. Creatinine. Okay, creatinine was 1.22.
Right. I guess this comes from the body mass index that you have, the training, and perhaps the red meat consumption. It's not bad. And it could be lower.
Urea 16.
16.
16, 1.6. So yeah, that's normal range.
1.6 is very low.
Yeah.
Sounds
good.
like a vegan diet.
I pee a lot, so I'm definitely not a vegan. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you on a supplement, protein supplement?
I use protein powder. I take in a good 400 grams of protein every day, at least. Okay. It's a lot of protein. So let's get into some questions. We got a lot, but I'll try to make them quick. First one, doctor, what do you think about boldenone, which we call Equipoise in the bodybuilding world? What was your experience with it? Seems to act very well for controlling E2.
Yeah, it doesn't aromatize that much as a nandrolone. It's a drier drug. But in the paper, it's less androgenic and it's less anabolic than the DECA. I've used the original stuff from South America 20 years ago. The Ganable. Yeah, Ganable. It's not dense. It's a lot of oil, you know. It's 50 milligrams per ml.
Came in a jug like this big.
It's a good appetizer, a booster, you know. Yeah. And it's a good combination with Primo, I guess, for some dry gains.
Yeah, I mean, I always used to alternate. Test is always the base, but then I would alternate Test and DECA, and then I would swap out the DECA for Equipoise for a few weeks.
Yeah, we said that.
Back and forth. So it always worked very
before the summer. I'm using enanthate, Test, enanthate Primo, and Equipoise, which is also very long-lasting ester.
Yeah.
And they throw a couple of Arimidex, and they have some dry gains.
Oh yeah, they're starting me on Arimidex for the first time. I never use tiny dose of an anti-estrogen.
Yeah.
So we'll see if I like that. Here we go. In the competition, so this is talking about the Olympia, which we were just at a couple weeks back. In a competition like the Mr. Olympia, where the prejudging and finals is 1 day apart, what exactly do coaches and athletes do in terms of carbs, water, sodium? Why are some guys tight, shredded at prejudging and soft in the finals and vice versa? In your opinion, what should coaches and athletes do so this doesn't happen? Yeah.
Well, I think it's all up to the dryness the day after, if you are not that dry. So they have to manage the water intake, the sodium, diuretics, but also the carbs as well.
Yeah.
So it's up to the eye also, okay? I mean, yeah, it's a strategy, very complicated and very delicate and exclusively personal.
Mm.
And I remember when Victor had a visit of Chad in his room the night before the show, the Arnold, and he told him that this was going to be your next meal and nothing else.
Mm.
And my friend, who's a friend of my patient, who's a friend of
Victor.
Vic, he said he woke up in the morning, took a tiny pill, I guess it was spironolactone, and then went to the show, which is something very reasonable, what we do also here in Greece.
Yeah.
And by the way, for the history, he had salmon with pasta and a little bit of chocolate cake. Vic, his last meal, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was his last show, I guess.
Mm.
Arnold, 2022.
That's right. Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good. So when the show's the same day, it's not that different. They just have less time. They try to hold their peak because that's how the Mr. Olympia used to be years ago. It would be the judging would be like around 12, finals would be like at 7, all in one day. They only had to peak for one day, really.
Yeah, 2010, when 2010, Phil was ahead in the prejudging, and finally the day after, Jay managed to beat him and win his 4th Shando. And this is what I asked him in his seminar in Athens 2016. Of course, he didn't reveal all the details.
Yeah.
And now they're saying that they're going to bring it the same day. I'm not sure about it.
Oh, that'd be
just like
great.
the Arnold. Just like the Arnold, yes.
Oh, wow.
You have it with the.
Oh, I hope.
But
they
listen,
do. That'd be
in 2
great.
days it's less. Yeah, but in 2 days, it's less 2 days. Within 24 hours, there's less stress, and you have some time to, to relax and stretch and to take a nap and eat or manage your flaws.
Yeah.
But doing on the same day within 8 hours, let's say, it's exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's at least, we won't have that situation where we were up until 12:30 at night, half past midnight, which, your time zone, your body must have been going crazy in Las Vegas with the time difference. It was so late, that judging. Oof. So that's a great idea. I hope they do that. Let's go back to is NPP as efficient as DECA for the joints and anti-inflammation. Looking to add 50 milligrams a week of NPP to my HRT protocol for aches and pains. Yeah,
I don't think it's that big because the aldosterone release and the fluid retention comes with the slower ester, because when it clears the system, the NPP, it sounds like you're going to get rid of the benefits of water retention to the joints.
Okay.
All right. So try the pharmaceutical grade low ester. The NPP is actually when you switch, trying to go from off-season to cutting cycle. All right. So you can stick it with propionate testosterone, let's say, or Primo. But only the long ester DECA, I guess, it has the benefit of smoothing the pain. Of course, you're going to retain a little bit, but it's the flip side of the coin that you need this fluid for your joints.
Absolutely. Okay. So next one is my total test is 1100 to 1300 with free T around 300. My SHBG is very low and it always has been. I'm on 180 milligrams test sip weekly, nothing else but dutasteride for my hair. My estradiol is 57. I feel and look bloated. Should I start an AI, an aromatase inhibitor?
We have to know that using a 5-reductase inhibitors that block the DHT favor the increase of the other metabolite, which is the estradiol. That's why theoretically it sounds that finasteride and dutasteride, especially that cuts off completely the DHT, will elevate the estrogens. All right. So it's more likely that you're going to look less hard, more puffy, and perhaps take a little bit of anastrozole.
Okay. Yeah, a little, like a small, like they were going to start me on like I think I was going to do a half a tab twice a week or something. I think that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, 1 milligram per week is good, up to 250 milligrams.
Okay. Next one says, how should I take insulin while on HGH to reduce the blood sugar problem? I mean, the timing.
It's good when you have your meals, but I prefer to do it with insulin sensitivity. So either post-workout or with breakfast.
Okay.
All right.
Taking an insulin with breakfast and the post-workout meal.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Okay. Next one is I'm a 58-year-old bodybuilder. I'm prescribed TRT 200 milligrams a week. Calcium CT just run with a score of 6, LDL in 130 range, and HDL over 50. Does the calcium score automatically mean I need a statin? I have no other health risks such as high blood pressure or diabetes or family history of heart attack or stroke. I've tried natural supplements like red rice yeast and niacin, but no impact on my cholesterol numbers.
Yeah, I believe the two risky factors that you need to get started on statin is you're a steroid user, your LDL is over 100, and you have a positive calcium score. So even though it's 6, you have to start using statin because red rice yeast is not enough. All right, take low dose of statin to make it solid, this calcium score that you have, and bring down the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol that clogs the artery.
Yeah. What was your calcium? Didn't you have like just a tiny bit of calcium in your jugular vein or something?
Yeah, in the heart is 0. Here I had a little bit. And yeah, so I started a little bit of the low dose, 5 milligrams of what Connor also takes.
Okay.
The rovastatin, and also the K2 vitamin that allegedly it can absorb this and direct the calcium to the bones instead of the endothelium.
Yeah. Do you take K2 with D3 all the time?
Always.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe they sell K2 by itself when it
yeah,
doesn't. Really...
Listen, this is risky. This is risky because you need to take it both, all right, to know that you won't abuse on K2.
True. Yeah. Okay. Here's one. Is it okay to take my HGH in the shoulder? I don't think it doesn't matter where you put it.
It's not bad. Actually, it gets rapidly to the bloodstream, but assumingly you're gonna miss the spot reduction, adipose tissue burning, fat burning effect.
Oh, in the stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I've been putting it in my butt. I don't even need to burn fat in my butt. No one can see my butt. Okay, now I'm going to start putting it in my stomach. Thank you. All right. This guy says, I like to take 1 tablet of 25 milligrams ephedrine pharmaceutical before training. Recently, I was diagnosed with hyperthyroid and prescribed thiamazole to increase thyroid activity. Is use of ephedrine now contraindicated because ephedrine increases metabolic rate and higher thyroid hormones? Do the opposite? Or is the ephedrine mechanism unrelated to thyroid metabolism? He wants to know.
I don't think it's a good idea because you're already on T4 medication since you're hypo. You're going to take another stimulant like ephedrine, and then they're going to have a synergistic effect that may give you some heart arrhythmia.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, no more ephedrine for you, dude. So, next one.
Taking the T4 is enough.
Yeah, I loved ephedrine back in the day, but I've been living without it just fine all these years. So let's see. Can you please help me to understand if anabolics can mess with sleep and anxiety? And if yes, what's the best solution to fix the problem? I'll be more than happy to stop my cycle or reduce the doses. I've never even experienced this before. I'm taking 500 milligrams of sustanon, 300 milligrams of drostanolone, which is masteron acetate, and 300 milligrams of ment. Wow. Weekly, dosing every day at 1.1 ml per day in total. Thanks for your help, Eugenio. Wow.
I suggest, they definitely do mess up with the central nervous system, okay, especially the androgens and trembling that they bring this restlessness and insomnia. That also may be the effect of overtraining and depleting your nervous system with cortisol. So this guy is taking a lot. Please go to replacement therapy and live healthy.
Yeah. Doc, have you ever heard the phrase transomnia?
Yeah, of course, yes.
Yeah,
night sweats, insomnia, and some nightmares.
Yeah. People wake up like in a sweat, like they just ran a marathon.
Yeah, the metabolic rate is boosted dramatically. It burns fat a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That also is a result of overtraining that boosts also the metabolic rate.
Yeah. Connor just did a video on why the mechanisms of why trenbolone makes you angry and horny. So you're going to be angry, horny, and you won't be able to sleep.
Horny is debatable because many people say have a tren dick.
Yeah. Look,
Connor, of course, said in the anabolics that the ratio has to be 2:1. But we have to admit that high androgen, especially trenbolone, halotestin, of course, or M3, they have an impact on nervous system. Of course, it's up to the individual, but it's not the same taking anavar and trenbolone. Connor said that.
Right. Okay. Last one is, my doctor has me on 200 milligrams a week of testosterone cypionate and 25 units of HCG once a week. 25. Is that enough HCG to make a difference? I'm thinking it's very low. Not sure it's enough to prevent testicular
No, I think
shrinkage.
it's
25.
minor dose. If you want to do it on a daily basis, the HG have to be 1 to 200.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, make it 500 twice a week.
Yeah, I've heard you say 500 twice a week, which would
Yeah,
be
below 1,000, there will not be a substantial difference for your shrinkage and your fertility.
Yeah, I wonder if this doctor got the dosage wrong. 25 units of HCG sounds ridiculous.
So maybe it was 250.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it wasn't 25. That's ludicrous. Anyway, doctor, that is our first show for 2023. Another new year.
197, huh?
Is it 197?
3 more.
See, look how far behind I am. I'm always like 2 behind. I got 195 written there. So
Have you heard the news now that China is also rebounding on COVID?
yeah, what the hell?
Crazy.
What's wrong with it? How, what do you, I don't know. We don't know why, but isn't that, I thought COVID was almost gone and now China's getting wrecked by COVID right now. Whew, like people are dying in droves, aren't they? Yeah, COVID's no joke still.
Well,
I guess
not in the same rate, but in Vegas and New York also, but not in LA. There are a few people wearing still masks, also in the airports.
a lot of people came back from Vegas with very sick. Milos got COVID.
Yes.
A lot of people got
Really?
COVID. Yeah, Milos got COVID. He sent me a picture of the COVID test and said, "Damn it," because it had the plus sign through it. He tested positive. Well, yeah, I think that was his third time having COVID, second or third. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, Frank Seppi and Steve McGregor had also some kind of flu,
Yeah, a lot of people. They called it the Olympia plague or the Olympia epidemic because so many people got sick.
And also Dan Softman. Yeah.
Derek
This is what
Lunsford. Derek
Dan
Lunsford
Softman.
got, yeah, Dan, Derek, tons of people. So I was already sick. I don't know if you heard me coughing the whole weekend, blowing my nose and coughing.
No.
So maybe that kept me from getting more sick. I don't know. Anyway, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, hit that thumbs up thing to like the video if you like it, share the videos, and of course, turn on your notifications, that little bell. And if you have questions for the next episode, please leave them in the comments. They don't even have to be questions. You can give us some feedback on the show, things you want to talk about in the future, anything you want to put down there. We love your feedback, so please. Thank you for watching Ask Dr. Testosterone with Dr. George Souliatos, and we'll see you next time. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.